Well, I got this 26 LED. Well, this is solar panels on the top. It goes on top of the flagpole. Thought it had a little bullshit eagle on it, but I guess it don't. Whatever. So this is what it is. I got to pull that flagpole out of the ground. Third generation, brighter and more flag coverage. 26 LED, warranted 18 months. First, it wasn't working. What happens is you got a little hole here. It's a 1/2-inch hole, and you got to put something up between it. And I found out this thing will work perfect. What I do is I got to cut it off here and weld it to the pole after I pull the pole out. And I could slide this thing on here, which goes. Oh, you'll see how it works. You'll see how it is when I put it in the dark. Well, it's pretty dark here. Let's see what we got. There we go. See it comes on, goes off, right? Get a little more light, goes off. Should go on. There it is. See? It's pretty bright, man. It's not really that bad, man. You can see like on a bike cover. So it should work okay. So I got to pull that flag out of the ground, which is going to be kind of fun. I'll try pulling it out by hand, and then if I can't, I'll use a jack and with a board and see if I can jack it up out of there. What I'm going to do is, what I think, I'm going to put the Nathan Bedford Forest flag there. I'm going to put that Marine Corps flag right up over here on the fence, over the Sons of Italy stuff, because I don't know if I'm going to sign up for that shit no more. They sound like a bunch of wah-wahs. My heritage and wah-wah-wah. I don't care about heritage, man. We're here to fight. Hey. Well, that came out easy because it was in there with like a splice pole and some tape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some epoxy resin on that. It's up here. And then it won't, or just even stick a bolt through it, man. A couple screws on the bottom. Yeah, it might be the better way. A couple screws on the bottom. This way I can pull it out anytime I want. And if I got to do something to that thing on the top, when I put this thing on the top, no problem, man. Well, I took actually the grinder instead of the cutoff wheel. I didn't feel like changing the wheel. I cut this off, so that'll go through the pole when I weld it on. And this part will stick up, and it'll be my place where we put the solar lamp with the hole through it, right? That's a 1/2 inch. It fits in there perfect, man, like it's made for it. Well, just welded it in. It's a little bit crooked, but we'll see how bad that is. It might actually be okay, but we'll see if I got to bend it over or something. That's my cracker rigged welder. It's the Great Northern Welder. I had some videos on this before. The wire feed motor was bad, or not the wire feed motor, but something in the circuit board, the main board. I bypassed it with a 24 volt power supply off a laptop, and that's why that's on there. So when you plug it in, the wire feed motor just comes on, and it's got like a dual plug, and it's got this other separate thing here, that rheostat to adjust it. Freaking works more or less. I might need to bend that over a little bit before I kind of tacked it in there a little bit, but that'll work, man. Plus, this thing's going to keep water from getting down the pipe. That's another thing. Because if water fills up with water, it's going to rust from the inside. You don't want that. Well, that looks good enough. It's welded on there. I ground off the end. Straight enough. That thing fits on there perfect, man. So probably put, I don't know if I need to put anything on there. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it down with some truck bed lining and coating, and just so it don't rust. And then when I put this thing over it, you know, that works. When I put the light over it, the truck bed lining will more or less glue it in place because it just barely fits, and it'll slide on there because the truck bed lining's wet, and once it dries, and we'll put a couple screws on the bottom there so it'll hold it in place, and then I can always remove it if I need to, if I got to service the light. Okay, what I also did to make sure this thing doesn't fly off in big winds, I put a few sheet metal screws, 1, 2, 3, like well, actually wood screws out of this thing, right? And So it's in there like tight. It's not going nowhere. And also coated it with some truck bed lining over that so it shouldn't rust too easy. And now we're going to stick it back in the hole, or actually in the pole that's sticking up out of there. We're going to put a couple screws on the bottom to hold it in there nice and tight, which means I can always remove this pole nice and easy to service this. Yeah. Well, that should light it up pretty good, man, because there's a wind going. Because those little lawn lights I had down here on the ground, they just weren't pointing up there far enough. And then I put a screw down there on the bottom to hold the pole in so you can't just pull it out. Just take that screw out, I can pull the pole out and freaking do the thing up here. And it's got a slight cant to the front, that sounds good to me. You know, I can always turn the pole some other way to, do whatever I got to do. It looks fine to me. That should be good. And I'm probably going to have the Nathan Bedford Forrest flag up there instead of that Marine Corps flag, and I'll put the Marine Corps flag on a fence right over that Sons of Italy stuff, like between these two Confederate flags. And that flag should light up pretty good at night, man. So we'll see how it is. I think it's going to light up pretty good because that's the newest flagpole light technology. It's going to look good with the Nathan Bedford flag up there too. Nathan Bedford Forrest 12-star Confederate flag. So I can't wait. Well, probably have that up there pretty soon, probably Monday. See how these lights work first.